Hey, welcome back everyone. How are you all doing today? So, if this is your first time watching the video, or maybe you've been watching for a while, but you've not subscribed, please kindly subscribe to the channel, alright, or give me a follow. At the same time, share with your friend, like the video, that will go a long way for the channel, alright. So, we have a lot to talk about, but before we jump into the chart and into the economy fully, I would say we discuss what happened last week. So first off, the shutdown is still ongoing. There was a conversation that Republican kind of like brought up, I think something around maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday, but Democrats just shut it down that they are not buying it. So shutdown still persists. So that's number one. Now, what is the impact of the shutdown? I mean, the Feds, including traders like you and I, we are flying blind right now. Okay, we saw what happened to the dollar, the DXY. It was going up all through last week. Okay, right from here, we got it all the way to this region, which was very good because some of us have been buying dollars, so that was a good one. All right. So then that happened. We're flying blind. The Fed is flying blind. Everybody's flying blind because, especially if you're a macro trader, you are technically just following technical analysis right now because there's no new data that's been published that we can actually follow with or follow through with right now. Now, the second thing that we should talk about is the elephant in the room. What happened yesterday, Friday, and that was Donald Trump imposing 100% tariff on China again. That's actually very crazy. And I read through his post on on the True Social, where he said there was something that China was pushing around here and there, blah blah blah. I can't really go through with it with you, but definitely, I'm sure you must have seen it as well. And then after that, we also read that China is also like stopping all the exports of the rare earth metal that they globally control, literally because they own like 2/3 of the global production of of the rare earth metal. So that is actually very profound because you saw what happened to Nasdaq. Let's start with Dow Jones. Okay, you can see what happened to Dow Jones last week. Dow dropped crazily, like crazy. This is awful. Like this is not a move. This happened in 4 hours. Like from the hour of 4 p.m. Nigerian time till when the market closed, it just went down. That was like 6 hour move to the downside. And you saw what happened to Bitcoin as well. All right, Bitcoin dropped madly. Right, like madly. Bitcoin dropped all the way from 121,000, as well as 123,000, and dropped all the way down to 103. Okay, that is roughly 20,000 drops. Okay, 20k. If you are using 0.01 on this trade, you made $2,000 profit on a 0.01. If you short this one from the top here, if you use 0.01, you make a $2,000 profit. That's what that means. I wasn't shorting it. I was actually considering buying it, but I didn't get my entry yet. But if you shorted it from 123 and you held it and you're able to close it at 103k, you would have made a profit of $2,000 if you're using the micro lot size, the smallest lot size of 0.01. Now that is crazy. That is what I call crazy. Okay, and this happened at this because Trump said he's going to impose tariff on China, and China said, "Gotcha, we're not going to export rare earth metal to the world anymore." And they control it, like 2/3 of the global production. Look at everything that's happening right now. And I mean, nobody could have guessed that this is going to happen. Anybody's telling you, yeah, I shorted it, I called it, they're kidding themselves, they're lying to themselves. All right, this was news, okay, pure news. This is not technical. The best thing you can see technical do is something like this. All this kind of lazy move, something like this. Yeah, this is the something you can call. Okay, maybe 1,000 pips. Yeah, you can call it 1,000 pips. Maybe 2,000 pips rally. Yeah, you can call that. 3,000 pips in like 2 or 3 days drop. Yeah, you can call that. But 20,000 drop, nobody could have called that. Like, yeah, nah, just kidding yourself. But anyways, people like to take glory to themselves. Like, that's so. We are all traders, so that's fair. Okay, I'm not here to drag anything with anybody. So that's all good. But Trump did his own. China did their own. Now, what is the full impact of all of this? Number one, the AI and chip making companies will get hit a lot. Okay, they will feel most of the pressure, and that's why you see the US stock market actually crumbled. You can see Nasdaq dropped very crazily. You can see Nasdaq dropped. Okay, that's Nasdaq right there. You can see Nikkei also dropped. Okay, Nikkei dropped as well. As a matter of fact, we also saw China Hong Kong 50 also dropped. Where is Hong Kong 50? I was buying Hong Kong 50 for a minute before it actually dropped. I'm still looking for Hong Kong 50 right here, guys. Okay, this is Hong Kong 50. So you can see this one also dropped like mad, All right, these are not serious. So I was able to trail out around here on Hong Kong 50, which is not very pleasing. At some point I was considering a buy right here, but when I saw the news, I just like maybe on Monday. You understand what I'm saying? So that is crazy. I've already journaled all of that. I kept it there because of you guys. So now, where do we go from here? We have the tariff. We have China canceling all the export of the rare earth metal. Excuse me. We also have the shutdown, the US government shutdown. A lot is happening right now, and the impact of flying blind is what we just saw. When you are flying blind, when the Fed is flying blind, when the retail traders are flying blind, when the macro data, macro analysts, macro traders, when they're also flying blind, small data, okay, headlines, every little things, okay, is going to impact the market because you don't know how to interpret it, you don't know how to structure it, you don't know how to trade it, you just buy or you just sell, okay? Because while dollar dropped on Friday, you will see Aussie dollar also dropped. Where is Aussie dollar? Aussie dollar dropped as well. And you can see that Kiwi dollar also did what? Also dropped. I'm actually shorting both of them, okay? Aussie dollar dropped and Kiwi dollar dropped. Whereas, pair like Euro USD, okay, where is Euro dollar? This is Euro dollar. Euro dollar rallied up, at least mildly rallied. Pound dollar also rallied higher, while their counterparts, Kiwi dollar and Kiwi dollar and Aussie dollar dropped. All right. So this is what happened when you have a shutdown in the United States, when the dollar is quite sentimentally, when there's a lot of sentiment that surrounds the macro economic in the United States, macro data in the United States. All right. So now let's get straight into the chart properly. Okay. So last week we got no actual data. Okay. As you can see right here, the US government data may still be impacted due to the shutdown. It might be revised, it might be delayed, or it might even get cancelled, which is exactly what we got last week. So we have the CPI, core retail sales, PPI, retail sales, unemployment claim coming this week, Thursday. However, they are all tentative because they might get postponed, they might get cancelled, and they might be delayed. Because of what? Because of the US government shutdown. All right, so that is that. Aside that, we also have Fed Chairman Powell's speech, we have Governor Bailey's speech, we have Reserve Bank of Australia's speech. Okay, Governor Bullock, we also have the speech. And then on Thursday in Australia, we have unemployment change, and unemployment rate and employment change as well. So pay close attention to these data. Okay, this seems to be quite interesting, especially for Australia, and for Australian dollar. And then lastly, we have pound. Okay, GDP month on month. GDP month on month is coming. Pound is expected to come a little bit higher. This is very good. This is a very good one. If we get the actual to be higher than this, then that is very good for the United Kingdom economy, and that's actually very good for the pound sterling that we all love to trade. Now, taking a look at the economic surprise meter, let's take a look at it together. Right here, we have the United States dollar at 56%. We have pound at 50%. We have euro at 20%. We have yen at 56%. We have NZD at 29%. We have CAD at 38%. We have Aussie at 43%. And we still have Swiss franc at 0%. That means Swiss is the weakest of all these assets. Is what it is the weakest. Now, dollar is mildly strong. Pound is on average neutral. Yen is also averagely strong. Okay, euro is weak. Swiss is awfully weak. That one is actually not what I thought about. Aussie is neutral, I would say. CAD is also pretty much neutral to bearish. And we have NZD pretty weak as well. So we have dollar, Aussie, and yen. Dollar, pound, and yen very, very strong, including Aussie as well. Okay, pretty strong, I would say. So taking a look at this, so while you look at this, plan yourself accordingly because we're going to be using all of this data in how we approach the market come next week, like we always do. Now, looking at the US economic heat map, you can see that the last time we got a data was October 1st, and since then, we've not really gotten anything afterwards. We are still flying blind on the GDP data, the growth data, we are flying blind on the inflationary data, and the labor data as well is still, pretty much there without any updates. So nothing on that one as well. The COT data, we don't have anything because of the shutdown as well. They can't find anything. So we are pretty much blind right now. Like, all we have to do now is we are still stuck with this data. Okay, with this data, this calculation, this report right here. Okay, this is all we have right now. But I can't trust this anymore. All right, I cannot trust this anymore because it is not the updated data. Okay, they're not the updated value. Okay, so I have to wait for the shutdown to be over before we can actually get actual stuff. Okay, so most of the thing we're going to do today is just going to be pure technical. Okay, pure technical. However, right here, we have the top setup. Unless you don't want to trade the major pairs. Let's say we remove the major pairs. We also remove, we can just remove the major pairs. You can see what we have right here. We have pound NZD bullish. Very bullish in fact. Pound Aussie, very bullish. Don't forget, I also have a buy trade on pound Aussie. I kind of closed my trade last week Friday anyways. We have Nasdaq, very bullish, score of 11. We have Dow, bullish, score of 7. We have pound CHF, bullish, score of 7 as well. Platinum, bullish, score of 7. Bitcoin, bullish. Can you imagine, right? Bitcoin, bullish. The score of 6. We have Nikkei, bullish, score of 6. SPX, which is S&P 500, bullish, score of 6. Pound CAD, bullish, score of 5. Silver, US oil, gold, copper, CAD CHF, all of these guys bullish. The score of what? The score of 5 respectively. All right, and then lastly we have Euro GBP bearish, the score of 7. This is if we remove the major pairs. Right? Now let's add the major pairs. Let's see what we have right there. Let's even make it only major pairs. I think we have USD CAD, USDCHF, and Aussie dollar. Sure. These are the three of them. Aussie dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar CAD, very bullish, and what? Bearish. Alright. So I still have my eyes on USDCHF. USDCHF was a very good trade for me last week. I'm also out of my USD CAD and I'm still holding on to AUDC, Aussie dollar. And then Kiwi dollar also, I share with some of my friends, but I'm not holding on to any of Aussie dollar. I'm in Kiwi dollar position. We have a trade on Aussie dollar. All right. So that is that on the top setup. We don't really have anything super serious. That's why we're just gonna like blend into technicals this week and this week only. All right. So sit back and let's enjoy the technicals. Okay. Now, what do we have here on DXY? Don't forget last week we discussed a very important concept, which is the inverse head and shoulder pattern. I said we have a shoulder here, we have a head here, we have a shoulder here. And then we got this neckline broken, which kind of like got rejected almost immediately after this particular region at 100 has been retested. And now we got a fresh new head and shoulder again. We have this massive support right here, okay, that we can use as our first shoulder. And then the market broke below it, use this previous head support region as well as a fresh new head structure. And then we got this new shoulder right here, okay. It's more like, it might not be your textbook kind of head and shoulder pattern, okay, shoulder, head, shoulder. As a matter of fact, it is actually the head, it is the textbook kind of head and shoulder pattern. We got the breakout, forming a very nice neckline at the top here. We tested this particular region, and then we got a fly to the upside. I started buying around here, and I closed the trade slightly after this, the 4-hour candle close at the top there. Okay, that's when I closed the trade on Thursday morning, yes, or maybe Friday morning, thereabout. I'm not sure if I think it's Thursday morning, I can't really remember. You know, I try to just forget all my position once the hour closed. So that is what we have right now: shoulder, head, shoulder, break, pullback. Now, what is the next step? Mind you, on this economic surprise meter, okay, we have the 56% economic strength in the United States. All right, let's not forget that. And that's actually the currency strength. When you take a look at the economic strength, you see that we have 67% strength. Okay, I mean, US economy is still pretty strong, with 67%, and the dollar itself is 56% strong. All right, so that is just by the way. Now, going back to the chart. Last week I said if we get this particular neckline broken to the upside, a pullback would be nice, then we can look forward a buy opportunity to the upside. Now we're seeing both of that played out. We got the break of the neckline, we got the pullback. Now we have to wait for a buy opportunity moving forward. Okay. And lastly, another thing that we need to take note of is what? The top setup. USDCHF is still very bullish. The score of what? I mean, it's pretty bullish with the score of 8. So it's not very bullish, but it is actually bullish. All right. So pay close attention to DXY. That might be something you want to pay very close attention to. And I use USDCHF because USDCHF share the same structure as what we have right here. And I think that's what we should jump into next, which is USDCHF value. This is dollar Swiss right here. So taking a look at dollar Swiss, we see that we have that head and shoulder pattern, right? Inverse head and shoulder pattern. We have the shoulder right here. We have the head right here. We have the shoulder. We have this particular neckline broken, pullback, and then the market rally to the upside. And what happened on Friday happened. And what did we get? We get this rejection back to this particular neckline again. So are we going to get it back upside? Okay. Are we going to get it retired back to the upside? I'm not sure, but I would love to see how that plays out. Okay. I would love to do what? I would love to see how that play out. Okay. As far as USDCHF is concerned, I'm still very, very much bullish on it. So pay close attention to USDCHF. As a matter of fact, I got a comment on TikTok last week that a guy took a buy alongside me. Okay. But when the market rallied to this region, he closed the trade. And then he missed out on all of this. Okay. Now, the pair is actually a very problematic one. If you heard me say anything about USDCHF last week or last 2 weeks, everything I've said is the pair is problematic, it's dramatic because it ranged for over 2 weeks. Okay. Since the 21st of September, it ranged till the 7th. Okay. 21st to 7th. That is 2 weeks. Okay. For 2 weeks straight, it was ranging. And I was buying, closing, buying, closing. There are some trades I took a buy and I left it. Okay. And some of them I took a buy and I was trailing, so it kept tapping me out, especially on the copy trading account that I have. I like to risk very little on that account because it's just a very small account. So it was a very good one eventually, but it was a good one that was very, very problematic. So that is that on that. Aussie dollar, okay, I'm still holding on to this one. It's also very, very weird, all right, and it's a very fine trade, okay, and I'm holding on to it for now. We'll see how it goes. The trade is currently running on how many percent is this? This should be roughly around 3.7%. Okay, I was risking how many pip stop loss? Okay, come on, let's go. This is for 39 pip stop loss, to be honest with you. It's a very fine trade. Okay, I also opened this one, closed it so many times before I left it again. All right, but it was a good one. Now, This is still very problematic anyway because my trading stop is somewhere around here. That means I'm only keeping like 1:1 on this one, even though it's 1:3.7 right now. But I'm still like, trailing, just preparing because we can wake up next week and the market will just jump back up and probably tap me out. So I'm just watching this one very closely. But it's a good one. Also, dollar is a very good one. NZD dollar. So far, so good. This is actually an amazing trade, I would say. Okay, why? Because we saw it on the edge finer first at a very bearish trade. Last week, okay, we saw NZD dollar right here at very bearish. Let me add everything back so it can make sense. So we saw NZD dollar very bearish, all right. Even before the Aussie dollar, right? Before the Aussie dollar pair, we saw NZD first. So it was a very good one. And now it seems to be playing out very well, okay. Despite the fact that right inside this channel, all right, we saw this bearish channel, all right. It was a very good one. But I took a buy somewhere around there, which I kind of closed at the top here also, somewhere in September last month. Right? Some of you knew about the trade, some of you might probably took the trade with me. And then I was actually planning to add to this position to see if I can buy it from there. But that was not the case. Why? Because we saw this massive dump, okay, something like this. We saw this massive dump back into the bearish channel. So since then, we saw this market drop down here, pull back. This was even a very late entry for me because I was not sure. Okay, I don't like when the market is playing inside a structure like this. Okay, I don't like that, something like that. So I have to wait for a clear break below this particular structure right there. It's a wide structure, but at the same time, it's a well-respected structure because right here it was resistance, resistance, support, support, now resistance again. So I don't like playing against a very decent structure like this one. That's why I had to wait for it to come below here on the 4-hour time frame, and I took the trade. I also shared the trade on my Signal group. So that is that. It's doing very well right now. The trade should be running like how many pips? I mean, how many percent right now? Around 1.5%. Yeah, 1.5, 1.45. That's also not very bad. I'm also trading this one as well. That looks really good. Pound. So let's start with my trade recommendation. So that's the two trades I have running right now. I'm holding one. I'm not holding the other one. But let's start with the trade recommendation. Let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin. What to do with Bitcoin, guys? Okay, I'm still pretty bullish on Bitcoin. I'm going to tell you that despite this drama, okay, this 20,000 pips drop. All right, I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin. I would say that I want this particular support level to get retested, and then we take a buy from there. Okay, I want this particular support region right here. I want it to get retested on Bitcoin again. Not this flimsy, wiki nonsense that we saw right here. I want a decent move to the downside, something that looks like this, something that looks like this. Okay, and I want to see a candle rejection on the 4-hour time frame. Then I will look for buy opportunity right around here when I see a structure, and it's an inner trend structure, probably on the 1-hour or 2-hour or even on the 4-hour time frame. Then I'll look for that and I'll buy towards 125 or even 130. Okay, so I won't let this particular drama got me scared out of the market or out of the potential trade. So let's watch out. Now on Ethereum is also it's more like in a range, but we are getting lower low on the range. Okay, we're getting it's more like lower low and lower highs. All right. See, we have a high here, we have a higher low, we have a lower high, we have a lower high, we have a low here, we have a lower low, and we have a lower low right there. So I would say it's more like in a bearish channel. Some of you might call it a zigzag kind of wave or something. So that's also very fair. However, when you take a look at it on the inside, you see that it's very bullish. Okay, it's pretty more bullish. So the plan is to see if we can see the continuation of this bullish momentum. Okay, probably we're going to see Bitcoin. I mean, Ethereum approach 5,700 in the coming months, all right? Or maybe just going to drop all the way back down to 2,500 or 2,600. Okay, that's also a very good possibility. But I will be betting on a more rallied high momentum on Ethereum. So that will be right here on this particular structure. Resistance, support, now support again. Okay, we get the market to form a 4-hour time frame structure that looks good. I will buy from there. Okay, I'll be buying from this particular lower band structure of the channel, right? Because this is a channel, don't forget. All right, so I'm buying from that lower band channel. So watch out for that. Okay, it might be a very good trade eventually. So kindly watch out on this one. As far as the Ethereum is concerned, CAD-CHF. CAD-CHF is very good, I must say. Very good, very neat. Okay, I like the structure of this particular pair. However, it is awfully bearish. So if I'm buying this one, that's me going against a very bearish trend. Now, the opposite of this structure is fundamentally it's good. Okay, CAD is way stronger than Swiss. Okay, however, CAD is also not strong enough. Let's take a look at the economic surprise medal again. Swiss is very flat, and CAD is also very weak. I mean, it's also pretty weak. 38% strong. Okay, 30% weakness. Let's say weakness, and this one is actually at 0%. Okay, another thing. Let's take a look at the Canadian dollar economic heat map. All right, where is Canadian economic heat map? So take a look at it. This is Canadian dollar or Canadian economic heat map, just for Canada, literally. All right. So we have the GDP growth, we have the manufacturing PMI, we have the service PMI, we have the retail sales, we have CPI, PPI, employment, and the labor data, so to speak. Labor data is not looking very fine. I mean, inflation is still pretty sticky. As a matter of fact, the PPI is awfully high right now. From 2.6 to 4.0, that is bad. Although CPI is dropping, but PPI is hot. The growth in Canada is also not very good. Okay, though it's minimal compared to previous and what was forecasted. It beats the previous. All right. So on Canadian dollar growth, we're getting some very decent reading, I would say. Okay, decent reading. GDP growth 0.2% from negative 0.1% is minimal, but at the same time, it's not the best. Okay, manufacturing PMI, service PMI still contrasting. That is not good. Although retail sales is booming. Okay, we have 1. When you compare with previous, it's also not good, but 1 is good when you compare it to the fact that the side of the economy which is being run over there. That's very fair. Okay, inflation is still very sticky. Okay, PPI at 4.0%, that's bad. CPI at 1.9%, below targets. That's good. And now, when you look at the labor data, unemployment rate right there is 7.1%. A little bit of a drop from what was forecasted. Okay, that was actually good. However, this is still very hot. 7.1% is crazy. That means people don't really have a job in Canada. And then employment change looks good, right? From negative 65K to 60,004. That's very good. That's a very massive job added. Like 129, almost 126K job was added in October. Okay, in September, that's very good. So, this is not bad at all. Not bad at all. But when you take a look at the Swiss economic heat map, look at it yourself. Everything looks messed up. Okay, everything looks simply messed up. I don't want to talk about that. So that is just the way it is. All right, when you're taking a trade on here like Usdchf, all right, you can see it's very bearish, I must say. But a buy from this lower low, probably all the way back to this particular supply zone, is not going to be a bad thing, right? In my personal opinion. So pay close attention to this particular trade right there. I would pay close attention to it, and I will watch out very, very carefully. Okay, on Usdchf. So that might be a very good trade for you. Just pay close attention to it. As far as copper is concerned, copper is a trade I've been watching for a while as well. Okay, copper doesn't look bad. Okay, it doesn't look bad at all. But I will probably consider buying again. If we get this particular level retested, I will consider buying copper again. But right now, this massive dump is crazy. Although if the US government open up again, probably next week, we're going to see a very fast rally on DXY. So watch out for that. Okay, watch out very, very closely on that. So as far as copper is concerned, maybe a buy right here, or a buy right here, maybe a buy right here. Okay, those are very good regions to look for buy opportunity on copper. Pay close attention. EuroGBP, you know how I feel about EuroGBP, right? I don't like the pair for nothing. Okay, I don't like it for nothing. But it looks bearish. So as far as EuroGBP is concerned, I would say we have a little bit of a supply zone at the top here. Okay, so we have supply right at the top here. It looks quite decent in my own opinion. Okay, I would say we put a pin on that. Okay, put a pin on that. We have a mildly decent demand at the bottom here. Okay, I can't speak to how strong this particular one is. All right, but I would say it's right there. And the next phase for drop would be right below here. So if I'm gonna take this trade, it's gonna be in multiple in sequence. It's gonna be a sequential kind of trade. If you get a push to the upside right here, I'll take a sell, target this region first. If you get it below, pull back, and then I'll target this bottom right here. This is a well-ranging pair. It's well known for its range. Its ranging attributes, like a consolidating pair, in my own personal opinion. So pay close attention to it very carefully. I'm talking about EuroGBP right here, right? Pay close attention to it. It might be a good one that you might want to consider come next week. So that is that on EuroGBP. I wouldn't mind selling though. Okay, I wouldn't mind shorting it, but it's a ranging pair. Okay, you can see right there. Over time, it's a ranging pair. It's not going anywhere. Okay, it's not going anywhere. If you go up, come down for the rest of the world. This 2018, it's a ranging pair, so you don't need to stress yourself about it. Just plan yourself accordingly and just short it. All right, simple as everything. Pound Aussie is another one that kind of like went crazy. Okay, you can see that kind of nonsense move to the upside. I closed my trade around here. Okay, I closed my trade around here. I was just out of all my trade because I was just out. Literally, I was just like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm cutting everything short. And I'm actually glad I did that because USDchf and USDCAD would have been very painful for me to watch go down. I'm very painful, but I'm glad that I did what I did. So Pound Aussie is a good one. If you get a pull back to this particular broken resistance, I think we might get a very good chance to join this one again. So pay close attention to Pound Aussie. Pound card is another one I saw on Edgefinder that is reading very. Pound card again is reading bullish. It's called 5. Okay, this one is a ranging pair. It's been ranging for like 6 months since April. It's been ranging since April. However, I have 2 regions to buy this one. 2 regions, two decent regions. All right. I noticed that there was a bit of a sweep right here. The market came back to tap this one and then rally back to the outside. I'm not interested in this particular region. I want this major demand zone. Okay, if I can come back to this demand zone, then I will buy from there. That's number 1. If the market break above here, pull back to this zone, yes, I will buy from there again. Okay, anything outside of this and this, I am not interested in pound card at all. So pound CHF, another one that looks like dollar Swiss. I mean that looks like cash Swiss, but this one makes more sense because when you take a look at it very well, it's also a range, a bearish pair. Like everything against Swiss is actually very bearish. I don't know what is it, what is it in Swiss, but it's also a ranging pair again. So tread lightly, okay, tread lightly is very good. Okay, very good. Looks not bad. Okay, looks not bad. I would consider short. I would consider buying. If you buy this one too, you're having. I mean, it's a positive swap kind of trade. Right? It can take forever to rally to the upside, but it's a good investment. I would say it's a good investment. Okay, you even get paid dividends by holding the back on this one. Okay, but I mean, despite the fact that you want to have good dividends, at the same time you want to get something significant out of the trade, right? You want to get some good profit from it. So let's just watch out. But it's much better. Like I said last week, it's a better trade to short because of the rally. Kind of move it does when it's selling than the one it does when it's buying. So you might want to like stay close to this one. If you're a day trader, I won't suggest it. If you're a swing trader and you're someone that have been able to master your emotions very well, then this trade might be something you might want to check out. Okay, Nasdaq. Now back to the indices. Nasdaq is back to where I wanted to buy from. For weeks now, I've been waiting for this particular region. Okay, for weeks I've been waiting for that region right there, and we are there. Okay, we are there now. So plan is plain and simple. I will be buying soon, but I need to see a shift in the economy. I need to see a very good headline that support that. Maybe the Chinese exports of the rare earth metal will probably stop and continue to export it, something like that. And the beef that US president also have with Chinese president, or even the entire Chinese community and the country needs to stop. Okay, this obsession of China is ripping us off. It has to stop at some point. It's getting ridiculous. I don't think anyone is actually buying this again. When they're still out there buying this, I wish you all the best anyways. But I just figured this needs to stop. There should be a borderline. I mean, Xi Jinping is not a devil. I mean, he had a face, he smile, he talks like a human being. So you can just talk to him. And there are a couple of conversations that they've had in the last couple of months. So what's the sudden change? Why? I don't understand it. It's just politics is very, very weird for me. Politics is not my passion. I just kind of just talk about it. Nothing serious. It's just weird. Moving on, Nasdaq buy opportunity looks good right here. Don't forget, guys, this is not going to go forever. Okay, we can get another one, maybe two more candles that will close below like this, but you can bet that it's still going to go back up. All right, that's US stock for you. They're always going to go back up. But I think I have a buy opportunity right here too. Okay, so you might want to like pay close attention to that one as well. This region and this region are two good levels to look for buy opportunity on Nasdaq. All right, so pay close attention to that. Now Nikkei is also a very good one. Okay, the Japanese stock futures JPY 225, I believe. So yeah, that's not good. So it also drops as expected. We even saw this massive gap. Okay, so I guess everything kind of worked together for good because this move kind of covered the gap. So that's fine. So I will be looking to buy this one also, maybe from here or maybe from here. All right, buy from here and buy from here. Basic and simple. Okay, nothing too dramatic. Buy right here, buy right here. As far as Nikkei is concerned, that's my plan on Nikkei. Platinum, maybe the second time I'll be talking about platinum with you, but I'm looking to buy platinum as well. Okay, I'm looking to buy platinum. All right, this is the first time I'll be trading it. So let's see. Let's see if we can get a very good move. This is very terrible structure I just did right there. But there's a reason for that, so I'm not just going to get it. So that's one. We also have one here. All right. So this is another one. I'm not sure if we're going to get this particular region tested. I'm not sure about this. Well, I'm kind of sure about this. Back to this region. Okay. So I'll buy from here, I'll buy from here, as far as platinum is concerned. However, if we get something like this, then I'll be looking to short platinum right from the bottom there. So pay close attention to this one on platinum. If you're not interested, if you're not familiar with it, just trade this on the demo account. All right. So that's that. Usdcf, like the best trade I took this month. Okay, like last month, stroke this month is the best trade I take. This is one ratio 10 RR trade on Usdcf, and I love it. I closed the trade around here last week Friday, I guess. So the plan is plain and simple. I want more rally to the upside. Okay, I mean you can't blame me when you have a structure like this. I want to capitalize on it. So to get a break above here, I pull back to this region. I will be buying Usdcf further. Okay, I'll be buying more of Usdcf. So pay close attention to what happened at this particular structure right here. Okay, this particular resistance level. So there was a time we used that support right here. But then we have this key level resistance, support on resistance, right? So we have that key level there. A break above it, a pullback, will probably warrant for a further rally on USD card moving forward. So that's my plan with dollar card. US30, I'm also pretty bullish on this one. I would love to buy. However, US30 kind of break below so many structures that I've set earlier, which is actually very good. I love the fact that I did that. So this is a very good pullback. And again, buy from here, and buy from here. Basic, buy, buy, buy. The ultimate buy is down here, but this one is quite questionable. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but let's watch out. If this happens, then the whole stock market in like a week or two, by the time it gets here, will have lost over, let's actually measure it. It will have lost roughly around 12%. Okay, 12% right there. Yeah, 12%. Right here, 12%. So it will have lost 12%. Still not bad, in my opinion. But I don't think after what they saw here, after this crazy drop, I'm not sure it's ready for something like this again. But let's watch out. Okay, let's do what? Let's watch out. As far as it's concerned, could happen, and I would love to trade it. So lastly, we're going to talk about gold and silver, and we'll wrap it up for today. So as far as gold is concerned, gold is still very bullish. I'm not buying right now. I think there might be some profit taking at the top here from 4,000 to 4,100. Might be getting some profit taking right there. So we might get gold to actually do some deep pullback before the rally continues. All right, but right now I'm just watching. Okay, on gold, I'm simply just watching gold right now. So pay close attention to gold. Silver, the same thing on silver. It's very bullish, very steeped. Not going to touch it for now. I'll watch out if we get a pullback, then I'll be buying gold and silver later. The first region for pullback on silver will be 1. Second place will be 2. And the third place will be right here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. These are the regions I'll be looking to buy silver from. So watch out on silver as well. On that note, guys, I will see you next week when we have another session like this. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow me on my socials. I love you all. See you next time. Bye for now.